Hello there. My name is Zach, and this is Let's Learn Music. The topic of today's video is going to be covering accidentals. We're going to be covering sharps, flats, naturals, double sharps, and double flats. So let's take a look. Now, an accidental is used to either raise or lower a pitch, usually by either by a half step or a whole step. So let's look at sharps. Now, sharps are used to raise a pitch, to make the pitch higher by a half step. And the symbol looks like a hashtag that is used in popular social media or a tic-tac-toe board. So if we have this note, which is A, because we're in the treble clef, so that means that this note is A. And we actually covered that in a previous video. But if we look here, this is now known as an A sharp. So if you see this a note with a sharp next to it, it is that note plus sharp. And this, again, raises the pitch by a half step. So, a flat is something that lowers a pitch by a half step. The symbol looks like a lowercase b. And this is actually, so this is what a flat looks like. So we have this note, which is a note E, with a flat next to it. It is now E flat. Any note without an accidental next to it is just known as natural. So those notes before we added accidentals to them are just A and E natural. We have A, E, B, C, and E again. They're all natural. Now we'll talk about this in another video, but flats and sharps are used in key signatures. This revolves around the circle of fifths and a few other things that we'll cover in separate videos. So right now, right here is where our key signature would be, right in between our meter and our clef, and there's nothing in there. That means that it's either C major or A minor. And again, we'll cover this in a different video. But if we add one flat next to it, we are now in the key of F major or D minor. What this flat means, which is on the note, which covers note B, that any B's that are within this key signature are now B flat. So this B right here is now B flat within this key signature. If we want to make this a B natural, we give it a natural symbol, which looks like this. It looks like a box with two lines sticking out of it, but this now raises the pitch because a flat lowered the pitch. It raises it to B natural. Something to look out for with accidentals is, unless it's in the key signature, the accidentals only carry over for that measure. A measure is divided between these bar lines. So if we had a E sharp, for example, this E right here would be an E natural because the E sharp is separated by this measure. Now, again, the flats or sharps in the key signature, they stay the same. They stay the same throughout the piece, unless there's a natural sign next to it. So this natural sign is negated by this bar line in this new measure, which means that this is back to a B flat. Okay, so there are some less common accidentals. They're used in more difficult music, but they're double sharps and double flats. So a double sharp looks like an X, and it raises the pitch by a whole step or two half steps. Now, there's another topic called harmonics, which is two notes that look different on a sheet of music, but they are the same if you were to actually play them. An A sharp, A double sharp, is actually the same as B, because we're raising it by 2 half steps. Similar to double sharp is double flat, which is actually just looks like 2 flats next to each other. So this is now E double flat, which lowers the pitch by a whole step, which now actually, and harmonically, this is also the note D. Okay, so that's sharps, flats, naturals, double sharps, and double flats. What we're going to do now is I'm going to do some examples. I'm going to show you an example in both treble and bass clef. And if you want to take a look at it, I'm going to give you about 5 seconds, and we're going to go through what each note is. Remember that the treble clef is also known as the G clef, and the bass clef is known as the F clef. So I'm going to give you about 5 seconds, and if you need more time, just pause the video. Alright, so let's look at this first line. So, we have the treble clef. So if we look at this note here, this is the note F. Remember that this in the treble clef, if we look at this circle, this line is note G. So if we move down, we have note F. So we go to F, to B flat, because we have a flat next to it, C, B natural. New measure, we go up to note E, to F sharp, down to E flat, and back up to F sharp. Remember, this accidental carries over throughout the measure. Alright, if you want to take a second and look at the second one, I'll give you about 5 seconds. Alright, so let's look at the second one. So we're in the bass clef, which is also known as the F clef, and if we remember between these two dots, this line is for note F. So if we look at our first note, we're on note G. So we start off with a G double sharp, we move up to the note B. It looks like an A with the marker, it might look like an A, but it's a B. But if you guessed A, that could just be due to it not looking as clear on the video. So we go from G double sharp to B, down to E flat, and up to the note F. So we'll move on to our second measure. We start on the same note here. We start on the note F. We go down to C double flat, because we have the 2 flats, to C natural, which is actually raising the tone from here to here by a whole step, and back up to G natural. So remember, these accidentals do not carry over throughout the bar lines. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't noticed, I'm actually recording these myself, so it may be a little difficult to see sometimes. Hopefully you're watching this on a large computer and you can kind of zoom in or just enlarge the video. If you have any tips or tricks on either editing or teaching styles, as education is a communal process, or just on presentation, please let me know. Please put it in the comments below. If you'd like to see more videos, you can subscribe so you can see when they come out. And if you like the video, please give it a like so I know you appreciate it. And I guess that's it. So thank you so much for watching, everybody out there. I hope that you have a great day.